Hey, welcome everyone to Mystics Outlook. We're joined by Raymond Lyons. We got Cardo W. Jr., Wilson Tarpe Jr. The Washington Mystics, they saw their three-game win streak snapped as they lost to Dallas tonight, 79-71. Dallas jumped out with a hell of a start, like an outstanding first quarter. They did a good job throwing in the zone and kind of mess with Washington on the defensive end. And then also Washington, for the most of the night, they just struggled to hit bunnies. And that first quarter was the biggest deficit of the game. And Dallas just held on from there. Where he came on, Ray mentioned that Washington cut into the lead, but some of the issues Washington had overall for the night, they weren't able to get over those. Ray, we'll start you and then Cardell, just what you took from this game, I guess, that opening quarter.
Yeah, they just dug themselves in too big of a hole and couldn't get any continuity or get anything going. And I mean, credit to them, they were just fighting for the rest of the game. It was like felt like they were in 10 feet water in the pool and they don't know how to swim, just flailing arms, grasping for anything. That's just kind of what it felt like for pretty much the entire game, man. They just couldn't get anything going. Some of the things they've been doing well recently never materialized. This is the first game in a while they didn't outscore their opponent in fast break points. They got dominated on the glass, which is very uncharacteristic of them. They couldn't make any shots. It was just a laundry list of issues they had throughout the whole game. You mentioned the zone that kind of threw them off a little bit, and I think they were just forcing it. Like they were just trying to fit passes in the windows that weren't there, and Dallas was taking advantage. And defensively, they were allowing people to face cut them. They were falling asleep and people going back door. They just didn't have it tonight in pretty much any area. They got to the line a lot, which I guess is a positive. But that they were just playing hard, and when you play hard and you're physical, you're going to force teams to foul you, and that's how they got back into the game. But yeah, once they cut it to 2, and Dallas kind of pushed it up again to like 10. I knew they just didn't have another haymaker in them like that to overcome the deficit. So yeah, man. Kudos to Dallas, man. They started that game off super hot. It's like anything they was putting up was going in. Yeah, and they just got out and ran on the Mystics, which is ironic because the Mystics have kind of been an up and down team this year, and just trying to have track meets. So yeah, it was a tough one, man. But hopefully they can regroup and be prepared for the next game.
Cardell.
Yeah, that first quarter was just a nightmare. It's about as bad as you can play, and I don't even mean it to be negative, but it just was. When best players in the world, you only scored 9 points in the quarter, and you give up 28. To emphasize how bad it was, the Mystics' offensive rating was a 43.1, and their defensive rating was a 123.7. So obviously you flipped that for the Wings in the first quarter. There's just no way. There's just no way, man. And then to make matters worse, in the first quarter, the entire Mystics roster was in the negative, in plus minus. And the Wings' entire roster was in the plus and the plus minus. Like nothing went well. They shot 61. They shot 61% from the field. The Wings did. They only took 1 3-pointer. Man. I rebounded them 10-3. Meanwhile, the Mystics, they shot 17% from the field in that quarter. That's just too. They came out like dumb flat. Outscored 18-2 in the first quarter in the paint. Points off turnovers, 10-2. Mystics fouled 7 times, put them on the line. It was just too much to overcome. Now credit the Mystics for rebounding because they could have really, hey man, we ain't got it this game, just whatever. But they fall back and had the chance, but that's the problem when you're down so early, so big. You won't run out of gas, man. And they had their opportunities where they could have took it. Because think about it, they either tied or won the next 3 quarters, and it still wasn't enough. That's how bad that first quarter was. It was just like when they had the film session, I'm not even going to show the 3 quarters. We're going to focus on that first quarter. You just can't come out like that. And I understand they were wounded, Melbourne and who's
Ingsler was going.
Inglesberg. Yeah, I don't know why I was thinking Olsen, but Inglesberg. I understand they were out, and that kind of messed up the rotation and chemistry. And then, like you said, the zone threw them off. But y'all didn't know how to play. Y'all played in college before. Y'all seen zones. Trust me. So y'all should know how to execute with that. And they were without Page, they were without key players on their team. So I understand that they were home, but nonetheless, man, it's just you got to look at that first quarter, make sure that don't happen again, because you can't come out that flat. If that's going to be the case, it's going to be a long remainder of the season, man. So that's really all it is, man. And then you can't help but like Ray said, man, you got to look at the rebounding, 41 to 26. That's also tough. That should never happen with their front line with Shakira and Kiki and Aaliyah. Like, yeah, that even Sonya 6'1" and Sykes is a super athletic, Sykes and all that. Yeah, that's just disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? That's another thing I would point out. Like, we should never lose by down 15 on the boards ever. You know what I mean? With that talent in their front court, then rebounding machines like dogs. C-Tron led the team in rebounds with 10. Kiki had 2, Shakira had 3, Aaliyah had 4. Like I said, that's disrespectful, man. Come on, bro. So again, Kiki 4, Shakira 2, that's 6, and then Aaliyah. No, actually, Kiki had 2, Shakira had 3, so that's 5, and then you had Aaliyah with 4. 9 boards between your front line. And C-Tron, she out-rebounded your entire front line by herself. That's when you should be. If it was college, you would be scared of the next practice, especially you playing for like Gino or Don. You already know it's going to be bad. So you can't have that and expect to win. So they got to clean that up. Obviously, the Wings were on get back because they had a close game. They lost to here in D.C. But it just shows you the Mystics still got work to do as they was starting to build momentum. Kind of fell back down to earth, man. So they got to clean up not just some things, a lot of things. Their focus coming out the gates, being locked in from the opening tip, and then having energy, man. Sometimes you just gotta have energy, and that's the game. You've heard all the greats speak on it. Sometimes you gotta play tricks with yourself, like make up some shit so you fired up, ready to go, man. Oh, this girl thinks she can go. I mean, she ain't even said shit about you. She ain't even paying you no mind, but anything, you know what I mean? Just like that, man. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Alyssa Smith, man, she got 4 rebounds in the first. Oh, she got me messed up, dog. Like anything, whatever you need to do to be ready to play, tell yourself that. And that wasn't the case tonight, man. So we got to monitor that, man, because that was a hell of a first quarter to look like that, man.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with you guys. I just think, Aaron all season, one of the youngest teams in the league, whatnot. I think it's one of those nasty lessons for a young group, unfortunately. That said, I'm with y'all. It can't happen again. They literally lost the game in the first quarter tonight. They tightened up defensively the rest of the way. I think, Carter, what'd you say? They either won or retired the rest of the way, the other 3 quarters. That first quarter was that bad. And even with all that happening, like for me, I think it was really mostly lost. If they went on the glass tonight, they might have got out of here okay. Might have squeaked out of here. But all the second chances, how many possessions as the game went on did we see them play 24 seconds of good defense? Dallas gets another chance at it. Dallas gets 2 chances at it. Then we already know, evergreen thing we've been talking about all year with the turnovers. the win, they have the turnovers. Like you said, right, they cut it to 2, and that was it. They couldn't capitalize in that moment, and that was it. But like I'm with you guys. Just that can't be one of the things going forward. There's gonna be games where you're lacking in certain areas. You can't get beat on the glass this bad, like the rest of the way, unless like you know what I'm saying, the entire front line's out of there. Okay, cool. I can't argue that. But if they're those at least 3 of those ladies are healthy, those 3 ladies are healthy, that can't happen again. They're all too talented for that to happen. Shout out to Sonya for getting on the glass again Sunday night. But I was saying to Ray before it started, like you look on the wing side, only every person that played in the game for the Wings grabbed at least 4 rebounds, except for one. Enrique only had 2. Everybody else had at least 4 boards. They hit the glass as a group. Washington just you can't lose by that much on the glass the rest of the way. You just can't. That has to be a thing that, that has to be one of those staples. You show up, you're gonna compete on the glass. There's gonna be nights you lose on the glass. It just can't be. I gotta think it's fair. I don't think anybody get mad. I don't think any of y'all are push back. I'm like, they should not lose by double digits on the glass. Any team in the league that just should not happen. I think that's fair. Where we're all in agreement there. That group is that talented up front. That should not be an issue. You shouldn't lose double digits on the glass. So, but like you said, Cardell, that energy thing, it just came out super, super flat. And we'll see if that's a lesson they'll learn from. We've seen other lessons they've kind of learned from earlier in the year as the years went on. We saw some of that happen during that 3-game win streak. But did you guys have anything else pertaining to the game action?
Yeah, 2 other things. The Wings outscored the Mystics 36-5. That was another killer right there. Like, yeah, yeah, they missed Melbourne Ingles. They missed them. And on a positive note, I gotta give Sutton love, man. Like she been balling the last few games. She scored in double figures over the last 5 games, 4 to 5 games, man. And she's coming to her own. And just think if they have that production, where they might be. You know what I mean? Like she's, we've seen the comments. People been on the shows comment like, "Yo, we need a point guard. We need." And she's turned the corner after a rough start. So you gotta give her props even today. When they were coming back, she was there until she hurt, I guess, her ankle or knee, and then she didn't return. So who knows? Maybe she was a spark plug and stuff like that. Defensively pressuring and all that, man. So who knows? Maybe she would have stayed there because, like, before she hurt her ankle, which was early in the 4th, when they woke up, it was 20 plus, 22 in the 2nd, 25 in the 3rd. They started off the 4th strong. I think they was 6-0 run to start the 4th, and they was right back in it. Then she hurt her ankle, and then they fell flat again. So you kind of see her importance, man. She's the kind of, she was getting minutes early because she was struggling to shoot the ball, but she was getting minutes because of her defensive pressure, being small, quick or whatnot, pressure on opposing guards. But now she's starting to score, and that's opening things up for her to get assists. And then she's sneaking in there, getting her, 3 to 4 rebounds as well. She's coming along, man. So you gotta give her props, and then this is the part about, sometimes on the outside looking in, you got to trust the front office and the coaching staff, man, because we wouldn't have seen it if they would have brought in another one guard because they'd have put her in. But they have seen these players play every day in practice and shoot around, so they know what they're doing, the work they're putting in, and that builds trust. So you got to give them props.
For sure. And during this win streak, we've sang her praises after each and every game because she's been that. Like you can't ignore the results without mentioning Shug. She's been that for it. I know now. I think since Shakira got put back into it coincided with her strong plays coincided with Shakira being reinserted into the starting lineup. And I know the headline's been Shakira and her play once she's got put into the starting lineup, which is great. That's it. Shug's aggressiveness and assertiveness offensively happened there in that same stretch, and it's worked wonders.
Athleticism, man, it helps.
Mm-hmm.
And that's that screen and roll. You gotta make a decision. Both of them, they don't need much. Turn that corner, it's a bucket. So you got to pick your poison. So yeah, they helping one another.
I like it. And I think the first example that pops in my mind, I think when they were trying to cut the deficit at the end of the first half, I think Suge got a screen up top. Defender went under, and she picked up the dribble and knocked down the three immediately. Just that aggressiveness, and that's what we've seen during the win streak. Team's been struggling with that because you got to deal with whatever Mystic Big setting the screen and rolling downhill. You got to deal with whatever that's bringing, and she's been aggressive.
But also as a guard outside, tonight, when you got those bigs down there that can rebound like that, it makes you more confident to let it fly. Like we good, like we gonna get it back, maybe one way or another, man. So it's all, everything is tied together, man. That's why you want to perfect your game and be a complete player, because it literally ties into everything else, every aspect of the game. Everything complements one another. So that's what you're saying between those two with the chemistry that they're building.
All right, it's on the screen. Not adding nothing to it. Who y'all have tonight?
Man, you know what, man? I'm gonna show the Virginia Beach, Norfolk area girls some love. Zia James and JJ Quinterly. They've been coming on strong, and they were big spark plugs tonight. Both scored 15 points. JJ 4 assists, 4 rebounds. James Azia with 5 rebounds. They were big. No, that's 30 points. Well, Quinterly started, but that's 30 points from basically your rookie guards. You see what I'm saying? So that's tough. Because Enrique had 14, but it was I don't know, this season she's just been on. She hasn't been really efficient at all. But it was 14. But you didn't get double figures from nobody else in that starting line outside Quinterly and Olga Bawale. Alyssa Smith scored 4, Kata Charles 6. Lee had 4. They need every bit of that production. I know Maisha did what she do, but yeah, that rookie backcourt, the rookie guards, they showed up big tonight.
Right.
Yeah, I was a little more clear on X Factor, but that was with Paige out and them performing that way. Yeah, I'm not mad at it, man, because when you missing your engine, people step up like that. That's gotta be acknowledged.
Yeah, no argument from there from me at all. There, they were huge. They played a big role in that game. The last game these two teams played, they went in overtime. And tonight, yeah, as Carlos, you listed, where are they without that production from them? They won by 8. You got 30 for them. Like they have a normal night. Page out. Like, hey man, we talk about Washington sneaking away with a horrible start, possibly. Instead,
yeah. But think about if you were on the wing side and you lost this game after that first quarter start with the record you had.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. That's what it was huge. They need every bit of. Hey man, that's this. Get on social media, deactivate your accounts, just get back in the gym, just be oblivious. Don't watch TV because it's gonna be bad.
Supervision, man.
Yeah, it's gonna be bad.
I don't even know if TV is a safe option for real.
Hey, all that
gotta be streaming, nothing live. All right, X Factor.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it to Maisha. 13, 6, and 5, 3 steals in 22 minutes, 5 of 7 from the field. She was huge. She outplayed the Messi's bench by her damn self. So she, obviously she will have a little motivation. That's a former team always, but yeah, man, she was huge.
Right. Any other candidate you agree with? Former Mystic Maisha? How's that?
Yeah, I was leaning towards Quinterly for X Factor, simply for the fact that stepping into that star role with Paige out. Against a team that they just played and lost to. That was for me. That was, and then she kind of got them rolling in the beginning. But yeah, no, Maisha, her impact was definitely noted as well. So yeah, man, it's crowded field, but I'll go with Quinterly for X Factor.
Yeah, I took the super easy way. I just went with the Wings bench, man. Cardell, you listed the difference between the two benches tonight in production. We got plus 13, plus 10, plus 23. Haley Jones didn't get double figures, but 8 and 7 was the damage done by her off the bench, along with Maisha and Isaiah, as you guys listed. That bench production was huge. Again, they won by 8. And what'd you say it was 35-6 or something?
36-5.
36-5 from the bench. The Wings won by 8. That's absurd. For Washington, several days until their next game, they'll be on the road for that one. I want to say it's next Thursday on the road in Minnesota. So I definitely know that is a place where you cannot afford to come out flat for sure. Cannot at all. So we appreciate. Actually, I think we did have a comment. So hold on real quick. From Ballers Nation podcast, do you think Sonya might have Rookie of the Month?
Making a case for sure.
I can't think of another rookie that's putting in work like that. I'm just not saying they're not. I can't think of one.
I think it's her, and the only other, the argument you have, she outperformed the other rookie that might be, that you might bring up in that game. Yeah. Like she has that feather in her cap of what happened in that game. She was a primary defender for most of that game. Paige did not go off until she was somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? And they won that game, and she had to get one shot. So, I think that's more than possible, highly probable. Even if she continues to finish this month out strong.
Hold on a second. I'm trying to gauge how impactful the bench was tonight. Hold on, I'm about to bring it up just to see. I'm trying to see who leads the WNBA bench scoring. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I don't want to hold this up too long.
You good. I was about to make that difference between the two sound even worse.
Let me see. So the dream. You can go ahead. I gotta. Yeah, it's not popping up showing me what I want, but yeah, from what I'm looking at, the Wings. Yeah, they kind of near the bottom. So, but just to reiterate what we were saying, man, like you just can't have that happen, man. I gotta find out the exact one. I gotta keep digging. But I ain't gonna hold this up.
All right. Again, hell of a performance by the Wings bench in this game. And for Washington, I hope they learn that lesson that they cannot afford to start flat while lacking energy. That said, we'll see if they can put together another 3+ game win streak. As they get the chance next week, starting against Minnesota on the road. Appreciate y'all. We will see y'all soon.